What is up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to another episode of the Cut Cycle. If you guys are just stopping in here, highly suggest you hit subscribe, support honest, unbiased bodybuilding content. I log the positives and the negatives and I am completely transparent. But just to fill everyone in, so I did a bulk this winter, did a bulk cycle, played around with trend, did not like trend, switched a bunch of stuff out, and now I'm cutting. So I bulked up to around 234, currently sitting around 218, 219 still, because I keep adding in compounds that hold a little bit of water, or they're not exactly super hard cutting compounds. Again, my goal isn't to get extremely obnoxiously shredded. It's just to get to a lean, easily maintainable physique while trying to keep all my muscle and strength. But I wanted to get right into it and talk about what I switched so far. So LGD 3303, if you guys have been following me on Instagram, which I highly suggest you do, at Russo Lifts, I have compared the old brand of LGD 3303 I had and the new brand. The new brand tablets are a lot higher MIG, and yeah, I noticed that. I did high dosage experiment past 2 days, and the pumps, insane. The ingression, insane. Honestly, the pumps are a bit too much. I did have a lower back pump that was pretty bad towards the end of this workout, so keep that in mind. I even had a belt on and it was still hurting through the belt towards the end, but it's no joke. It's definitely a strong androgen and competes up there with all the real orals, in my opinion. I think S23 and 3303 are right up there with most of the real orals, and the pump's fullness have been insane. It's pretty much like 40-33 without the layer of water that I personally get from 40-33. The other thing I switched in recently and wanted to comment on was the IGF 1 LR3. So I have experience with IGF DES, which is short acting IGF, pretty much lasts only around 25 minutes. I personally feel it lasts, and then it goes away. So LR3 is the longer acting chain, so it lasts a lot longer. So I've already went through an entire bottle experimenting with different dosages, and personally, the fullness is insane, but it's not like insane to a point where like I'm like, holy shit, like this is crazy. But I definitely noticed a increase in overall fullness throughout the day. Muscles looked fuller and more separated. But the main reason the IGF in there is for the hyperplasia, or the building of new muscle cells. So in the anabolic matrix, there's the growth hormone category, for recovery, building of new permanent cells. There's the androgen category, which increases the size and strength, of the muscle cells. So you kind of want to have stuff all in the anabolic matrix. There's a myostatin component, local growth factor component. So yeah, that's why the IGF's in there. I'm only gonna run it probably about 4 or 5 more days, and then I will be done, and then I'll see how it looks like once the look is dropped. I recorded this back workout. I didn't record everything. My camera was on the wrong settings, so I apologize. These 2 videos were done for my Instagram. So this video, I manually fixed the coloring on it. I don't feel like manually fixing the coloring on all the clips, but this one I did because I was gonna put it on Instagram. So this was my top T-bar row drop set. So I did a pyramid style up to that weight. So started with 3 plates, did a set, added 2 plates, did a set. So I worked my way all the way up. Knew I wasn't gonna get that many good reps, so I decided to drop set all the way down and really try and squeeze and contract. And yeah, my back pump was insane this day, no joke, and definitely made some gains. So yeah, this cycle's been going pretty well. My skin has been kind of stagnant in the healing, not gonna lie, but it has not been getting worse. So yeah, gyno update. I'm gonna do probably next video, just because I want to try and go a bit higher dosage. I've been kind of conservative with my raloxifene. I think I'm going to get after it for the next video because, yeah, I want there to be a dramatic difference. People want to know if the raloxifene is working. Yeah, it has shrunken the gyno, but it's definitely not completely gone. And probably because I'm doing about half the protocol, just because I don't like the side effects of AIs, especially like when you dose them aggressively. So I will slowly jump that up and see if I can completely minimize it to a point where it's like barely even noticeable. But really, my one is already barely even noticeable, but the other one, my left one, still has some shrinkage to be done. So that is what's new with the cycle. As you can see, that IGF-1 pump is ridiculous, especially paired with the LGD 3303. Crazy look and fullness. It's Q&A time. All right, Ghosty. Okay. A little bit of space. Okay. All right, so if you guys made it this far in the vlog, I thank you for watching it. I'm going to answer a couple of comments in the comment section. I've been doing Q&As pretty much every single day on Instagram, where you can type in the question you want answered, and then I'll answer it. Other people will DM me about the question. I'll post that on the story. It's a lot more interactive than me just doing this type of Q&A. But I did want to do a Q&A, so let's get started. Take off your shirt. You're not showcasing much of anything. It'd be good to see your actual progress. Also would recommend voiceovers inside. Took you up on that, since we don't actually see there's too much wind being picked up. Yeah, I had a wind cat on that microphone. It wasn't good enough. And I will be doing shirtless updates once I get lean enough. I just posted a shirtless picture today. You can see my abs are starting to come in finally. And yeah, it's just like, what's the point if I'm fat? You're not going to see anything really anyways. So, well, you'll see me dropping the fat, but you won't really get to see my weak points and strong points. Buys cheap food for himself, buys expensive food for his doggo. Well, that's kind of true. That bison I buy is super expensive. So, Are you cruising? I'm gonna get my blood work done after this cycle, but most likely, considering I really do want to try and compete in classic physique. I actually did go completely off for a month and a half. Only a month and a half, I know, but I actually went completely off. And I always keep HCG, Clomid in my cycles to keep my, my balls still somewhat working. And I never go buck wild with the dosages, so my balls never like completely shrink up and go back inside me. Like, they're still always there, so that means there's still some action happening, in my opinion. But it gets to a point where, do you want to stress out your body coming off just to go back on like a few months later, or do you just want to go back into a cruise and try and keep the lights on? Because at this point, who knows if my HPTA will come back or not. But it'll be interesting when I try to see if it's possible. But if I were to do like a real PCT, like trying to really PCT, it would be like over 6 months, in my opinion, Monster Protocol, and just to see. Dave Palumbo, if you guys follow RX Muscle, he probably one of the biggest steroid abusers publicly ever, documented a lot of his stuff. Super open, honest, scientific dude. I think he was a few semesters away from finishing med school, so he's not stupid. And he was massive, like 300-pound bodybuilder, juiced to the absolute gills, tons of GH. He was trying to be a pro bodybuilder essentially. And he decided to come off to have a kid, and his natural test rebounded to 600 at age, I think he's like 40 or 50 or something. So at that age, his natural test pretty much rebounded back into range. So everyone's HPTA is extremely different. That's what I will say about that. How have your maintenance between cycles been? So I mean, my cycles up until this cut where I actually started blasting again were like really low, and I was gaining a ton of size and strength. No, I wasn't gaining a ton of strength, but I was gaining a ton of size. I was training for size. You don't really need that much to continue progressively growing. You know, that's why I'm a big thing of less is more. I did want to throw in a couple different compounds on this cut, but I mean, I'm not doing a hardcore cycle where it's like high trend or high masteron with test probe and proviron thrown in there and the fat burners like I'm not doing anywhere near like an actual hard cutting cycle, but you know, I'm still getting to a lean maintainable physique with like half the side effect. What brand slim pills? So those are Enhanced Athlete slim pills. Yeah, just search Enhanced Athlete. I have a coupon code for their US website. It's Russo15 if you want to use it, but there's a bunch of glucose transporters. Tony and Trevor are the people who came up with that formula, which they've proven by blood test that it does directly affect. Pitbull maybe. So not hating, but I think you should focus on your rear delts to even out your shoulders. Absolutely agree, my rear delts are garbage, and I've been hitting them as frequently as possible. If anyone has some tips other than putting site enhancement oil in my rear delts on how to rapidly bring them up to the rest of my shoulders, please let me know. But yeah, I hit them all the time. Alright, so those were some of the questions. I appreciate everyone who watched the previous vlog. I appreciate all the new subscribers and all the people checking out my Instagram. You guys are awesome. I plan to do a gyno update next cycle and actually do a shirtless physique update, both pumped and unpumped. So yeah, we're actually deep enough into the cut where that's a thing. I'm excited. Have not been this lean and been bulking for like 2 years, so yeah, pretty hyped to not be bulky. But yeah, it's been real easy to maintain. I haven't really had to do anything crazy so far, just some carb cycling, but my weight has stagnated around 218, 219, but I threw in that IGF, so I don't know. So I'll keep you guys updated. Follow me on Instagram. I will see you guys in my next video.